Hi friends, so in this video I want to discuss why I might quit full-time medicine. Now this is pretty big considering that I chose to become a doctor at like the age of 13 or 14. You know, I did 2 years of college or sixth form and A-levels. I did 6 long and hard years at medical school at UCL, and now I'm doing my 2-year foundation program where I'm currently in my 2nd year. So all in all, I spent probably about the last decade of my life gearing everything towards a career in medicine and making medicine my full-time or long-term plan. However, in the last year, things have really changed. When you start working full-time, you begin to take off those tinted rose glasses. You begin to realize everything that is wrong, and you begin to realize why, it's so prevalent that doctors within the NHS and doctors in the UK leave the NHS, move to different countries, or even consider different careers entirely. It's just so bad at the moment. Now, I want to make it completely clear that I love medicine, I love the profession, and I am hugely privileged to be a part of it. However, working within the NHS has made me hate the job. I hate being overworked, understaffed on most occasions, underpaid, undertreated. There are hardly any amenities at work. It's really not that enticing to wake up each morning and go to work because I know what I'll be expecting and I know it's not going to be good. And I also want to say that I don't think I want to quit medicine entirely because, as I said, I'm still super passionate about helping other people, treating, and the actual medical side of things. But I want to take things in a different way, in a different path. So I want to maybe go part-time a lot sooner than most other people would, and I want to start exploring some other fields where I think my skill sets would be better leveraged and where I would be able to have more fun and find things more fulfilling. If you're new here, my name is Yath. I'm a junior doctor in Southampton. I've missed making these videos for the longest time, and I think it's now time to get back. I'm not going to commit to any regular time frame. I think it's going to be difficult, especially with the job that I currently have, but I'm going to try and make more videos, at least 1 video a month, maybe 2 or 3. So the first reason why I want to quit full-time medicine is that I really do think I can make the same amounts of money or more money by working perhaps even half the number of hours I currently work. So let me explain. In the UK, there's the 2 types of doctors. There's locum doctors and there's traditional doctors. Traditional doctors are junior doctors, doctors that are in training, and consultant doctors that mainly work for the NHS. They may do some part-time private work on the side, but mainly speaking they work within the NHS and within a training program or an official program. And now that's traditional medicine, and those kind of doctors will either often work full-time or they'll work less than full-time at around 80%, and they'll get paid on the usual pay scale defined by the British Medical Association, so the pay is basically the same throughout the country. And then there are locum doctors. So these are doctors that bridge some gaps. So when there is sickness, when there is leave or extended leave from colleagues within a department, such as maternity or paternity leave, maybe sickness leave, maybe operations, whatever else it might be, then these kind of doctors are called upon to fill those gaps. And because of that demand and because of the nature of just bridging some gaps, they get paid a lot more. So what I'm thinking I could do is that after foundation year 2, I would have completed my foundation program, and technically even this year I'm allowed to go and independently locum at different trusts, but from next year I can do that properly because I'll have my certification for completing the foundation year program. And so what I could do is, in theory, I could work 2 or 3 days a week and earn exactly the same amount of money that I'm currently earning for working a full-time job, and most cases I could probably earn a lot more as well if I decided to work 4 or 5 days a week, which I don't want to do because the whole reason that I want to pivot away from full-time medicine into part-time medicine is so that I can have more of a life and I can, explore some other fields, which we'll talk about later in the video. And that's reason number one. I don't think medicine is well paid in this country to justify the workload, the intensity, the level of responsibility, and all the kind of things that you do, especially on like night shifts, weekend shifts, when you're alone, under supported, under covered. Because of this flexibility and because of the time that I'll be gaining, now let's talk about reason number two, which ties into the time flexibility, and that's that if I had more free time, then I would be able to focus on the skill sets that I think I have within me that have a lot of potential to be grown, to be explored, and maybe to be leveraged in a much more efficient way than medicine can ever be leveraged. And it also kind of comes down to the fact that the skill sets that I'm talking about aren't really developed within the NHS, and I haven't really seen myself thrive, improve, or get better in these areas in the past year, which kind of makes me believe that it's not going to happen this year and it's not going to happen in the future if I choose to stay within the NHS. And the kind of things I'm talking about are the skills that I think can only really be developed outside of medicine. So I'm really interested in design, and I'm also really a creative person, which is why I sit here and make these YouTube videos, which is why I write my newsletter, and which is why I've tried to keep up a social presence as well, because I like being creative. That kind of stuff is a different kind of feeling, medicine is fulfilling when you treat someone, you help another person, but when you're being creative, it fulfills me in a different way. So all in all, I don't think this is conducive towards a good, healthy career, and I'm not alone here. In the book 80,000 Hours by Benjamin Toad, he defines 6 ingredients or 6 aspects that make a fulfilling career that does good to help others, and one of the biggest ingredients is that a job must be fulfilling. It must bring you with joy, and it must motivate you to come and do better, to do more, and to thrive. The third and final reason why I'm thinking about quitting medicine full time is that my North Star in life is time freedom, time wealth. And very sad to say, I don't think medicine is going to be providing me time freedom or time wealth. And now this, I want to be very clear in saying that it's a realization that I've only had in the last 5 years, that time freedom is much greater than any other freedom you could have in life, because I think time is the biggest asset that any of us have. There are only 24 hours in a day, and if we have total control of those 24 hours, then there is nothing more I think that could possibly have in life that would make me feel better or feel more free. And so going into medicine aged 18, I didn't have this realization, and so I didn't really consider it. But had I had that realization, maybe in retrospect I would have considered other careers. Maybe I would have still gone into medicine fully knowing that I'm not going to pursue medicine full time, and I am going to pursue achieving time freedom, but through a career in medicine. So it's a realization that I've had recently, and so I want to make it clear that I didn't go into it thinking that I would have time freedom. Obviously, I did not think that. Medicine is an intense career. Most medical consultants will still do on-call shifts, weekends, night shifts, and they will mostly still work full-time or even additional time in private practice, and they will continue to do this in their 30s, their 40s, missing out on valuable family time, missing out on evenings with their children or spouse or significant other, and they will do this at great expense until late into life, into their 50s, their 60s, basically until they retire. Obviously there are some specialties that provide a better lifestyle, such as general practice, where you can have more flexibility if you choose to, radiology, where the on-call shift patterns get significantly better once you qualify as a consultant, and other things like histopathology, where it's routinely a 9-to-5 job, and you very rarely do any out of hours work. At the end of the day, even these specialties that provide more of a lifestyle are still 9-to-5 jobs on the most part, and you're still going to have to work pretty much a full-time job to earn a reasonable salary to sustain life and to save, to provide for your family, so on and so forth. So all in all, I don't think any specialty within medicine is going to allow me to pursue my other skill sets, to make money in a much more efficient way. So I think given that time freedom or time wealth is my North Star, I don't think I could work full time as a doctor in the NHS. This is why I want to capitalize on reasons 1 and 2. So I want to begin locuming as a junior doctor beyond the point of FY2. So FY3 is what we usually call it here, and that's foundation year 3, and that's like a gap year where people locum until they go into training. But some people will choose to locum for extended periods, so they'll do FY3, FY4, FY5 and so on. So I want to definitely go into that locum route. I want to work 2-3 days a week, and in working much shorter periods, I think I can still find the fulfilling elements of medicine. Even though nothing is really going to change about the NHS, even if I'm working 2 days, it's still going to be a crappy environment. But as I said, I love medicine, I love helping others, and I'm still passionate about the profession, so I don't want to totally leave. That's why I'm taking an approach which is 1 foot out the door, 1 foot in. So I want to capitalize on point 1 by locuming and freeing up time, so I have more time in the week to be flexible around those days that I'm off. And I want to use the days that I'm off to capitalize on reason number 2, which is to work on my other skill sets, which is to be creative, to create content, to focus on design, and the things that provide me with a different kind of joy in life. I don't think over the last year I've been able to flex my sort of design skills or creative passion and creative energy. So coming back to the idea of time freedom, I'm super bullish on this idea. I think there are very few areas in life or very few aspects of life that come close to time freedom. Even financial wealth, if you look at studies or if you look at articles, often it's kind of suggested that beyond a certain cutoff in your salary or your combined household income, the amount of satisfaction or life improvement really does flatten off, and so any extra wealth isn't going to significantly improve your life. Whereas I think with time freedom, it can only get better. I think there are 24 hours in a day, and if you can reach a point where you have absolute control over every second of those 24 hours, then you are the most free individual on planet Earth. I don't think I'll ever reach there, and I don't think many people will ever reach there. But what we can strive for is more and more free time, more and more control over our time. And the reason why time freedom is important is so that you can focus on some of the things that are really important in life, like family, like your partner, significant other, children, your health, physical health, exercising, going to the gym, going for a run, and doing this every day, having time to cook, and healthy, pure, organic meals that are nutritious, and having time to spend with your friends, having time to build on experiences like traveling, seeing things, exploring things, going on long walks, and really taking in nature, being one with nature. I think it kind of sounds a bit wishy-washy, but I think these are the kind of things that would truly allow you to live a healthy life, and a life that you will remember, a life that you will be grateful for. And no matter or no amount of money, no amount of career success will ever come close if you neglect family, if you neglect your physical health, and if you neglect your own personal well-being. And so that is why I'm more bullish on time freedom than anything else in life. And I think it's a super important aspect that more of us need to consider, and more of us need to ask the question, is the lemon worth the squeeze? In medicine, yes, you can strive to become the best clinician or a pioneer in a certain field, but is that lemon worth the squeeze? The amount of work, hours, and sacrifices that you need to make in order to get there, is that really worth it? It might be for you, fair enough. I don't want to argue with anyone, and this is just my own personal opinion, but for me, I don't think the lemon is worth the squeeze, and that's why I'm going to be making these changes and quitting medicine full time. So just to summarize, these are the reasons why I might be quitting medicine full time. And just to be clear, I'm not closing the books on a medical career. I'm just taking one foot out the door so that I can explore some other areas, capitalize on time freedom, and see where life takes me. I may reflect back in a few years and decide that actually maybe I want to stick within medicine, maybe I want to relocate, maybe I want to do something entirely different, or maybe my North Stars or my things that I value in life have changed, and then I will reflect. I think it's absolutely reasonable for people to go through stages of reflection and just figuring out what's relevant, important and critical in their lives. And so that's one reflection that I've had now, and one stage in my career where I'm pivoting. I may choose to pivot again in the future. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found some value in this video. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below. Definitely helps out our friend, the YouTube algorithm. And as always, I would wish you to stay safe, stay happy, and if you enjoy this video, please check out this video over here, which is a nice video about a day in the life of a doctor. You may find it interesting.